Dear students, we are discussing about photosynthesis, and photosynthesis is a process in which carbon dioxide and water are utilized and sunlight and chlorophyll is also necessary, and as a result of this process the plants synthesize a food which is known as carbohydrate plus oxygen is released. So, during photosynthesis, the plants use carbon dioxide and oxygen is released. This is the reason why we are saying plants purify air. Since they absorb the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere and releases oxygen, plants are called the green lungs of the earth, or they are the purifiers of the earth. So, during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water are used in the presence of sunlight in chlorophyll. So, as a result, carbohydrate is produced. What is carbohydrate? You know, starch, sugar, all these are carbohydrates. And the first carbohydrate produced by the plant is known as glucose. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate later which converts into either starch or sugar. For example, if it is the photosynthesis takes place in paddy plants, the glucose converts into starch. If it is in sugarcane, later on the glucose converts into sugar and oxygen is released. So my dear children, you understood that plants synthesize food with the help of chlorophyll and sunlight. And so, chlorophyll containing parts, for example, the green coloring parts of the plant, which are leaves. Especially leaves are the main food factory of the plant where photosynthesis takes place. In addition to leaves, the green stems of the plants are also capable of photosynthesis. Green stems also, that means green color of the plant part is due to the presence of chlorophyll. So, the green stems are also capable of preparing food. You all know about desert plants. For example, cactus. The cactus does not have leaves, that you know, because it is a desert plant. Because leaves have tiny pores. You learned that stomata. Tiny pores, you learned that stomata. Through the stomata, the water present in the plant will be eliminates. The process of eliminating water present in the plants through the stomata is known as transpiration. So what is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of eliminating water from the plants through the stomata of the leaf is known as transpiration. So transpiration takes place in all plants, especially all terrestrial plants. You know, in the desert plants, it is very difficult to available their water. They have long roots to go under the soil to deep under the soil in search of water. So, the desert plants have the leaves reduced to spines. So, the desert plants do not have leaves. Instead, they have spines to reduce the transpiration, the loss of water through transpiration. And desert plants. Then how does the photosynthesis take place in desert plants? In desert plants, they have a green, fleshy stem. Their stem is just leaf-like, green and fleshy. So, these green fleshy stem will carry out the process of photosynthesis. Okay, children. Now let us see whether photosynthesis takes place only in green colored leaves. Children, I have brought you some other colored leaves. This is not a green leaf, and this is also not only a green leaf. This leaf contains pale colored pigments and other colored pigments. So I ask you a question. So this is a green leaf, this is a colored leaf, and this is also another colored leaf. So does photosynthesis take place on all these leaves? The answer is yes, because all these leaves contain chlorophyll, and the plants contain other colored pigments also. So these other colored pigments mask the green color. Due to the masking of these other pigments, these leaves look in other color. So that means these other colored plants are also capable of preparing photosynthesis. Okay. So my dear students, we can understand that photosynthesis takes place normally in leaves, but leaves other than green color also photosynthesis will be taking place, and green stems also photosynthesis will be taking place. And in desert plants, due to the absence of rain or scarcity of rain, they have no leaves present in their plant. As a result, they have a fleshy stem. So photosynthesis takes place through the green fleshy stem present in the desert plant. Finally, let us do one activity, whether the plants need sunlight. For that, you have to take 2 potted plants. You take 2 potted plants. One plant you keep in the sun. And the other plant you keep in the dark for 3 days. You pluck leaves from both the plants and conduct iodine test. In 6th standard, you had learned that how to conduct iodine test. To conduct iodine test, you have to pluck leaf from the plant, boil it in water, then boil it in alcohol, then rinse in water and place it on a petri dish and pour iodine solution. You will be able to see that the color of the leaf becomes blue-black. If the color of the leaf becomes blue-black, it shows the presence of starch. Okay. So, what you have to do is, you have to pluck the leaf from one plant that is placed in the sun, so that the photosynthesis takes place with the presence of sunlight. And you have to pluck the plant which has kept in the darkness for 3 days, so that photosynthesis normally will not take place. So you pluck both the leaves and conduct iodine test. You will be able to see that the leaf which was plucked from the potted plant which was kept in the sun turned into blue-black. The other which kept in the sunlight, darkness couldn't convert into blue-black color. This experiment shows that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Children, we have to study one more topic, that is about the cells. What are cells, you know? Whenever we studied about the structure of a leaf, I told you that the leaf is made up of cells. What are cells? You all might have seen a lot of buildings. How the buildings are made up of? The buildings are made up of building units known as bricks. Just like that, body of all organisms, whether it is a plant or it is an animal or it is a any kind of small organism, ants or whatever it is. It is made of the body of all organisms are made up of building units called cells. And in your text you will be able to see the structure of a cell, and these are the cells. And these cells, whenever we observe the cells under a microscope, you will be able to see inside each cell. Each is a cell. Each unit is known as a cell. And inside the cell there is a spherical structure. This spherical structure is known as nucleus. This spherical structure is known as nucleus. And each cell has a boundary membrane, a boundary covering membrane. And this covering membrane is known as cell membrane. And between the covering boundary membrane and nucleus is a fluid. This fluid is known as cytoplasm. Okay, students. So, body of all organisms, whether it is an animal or a plant, the body of all organisms are made up of building units which are called cells. What is the structure of a typical cell? A typical cell has an outer boundary or covering membrane which is known as cell membrane, and inside each cell there is a spherical structure which is known as nucleus. The spherical structure is known as nucleus. The spherical structure is known as nucleus, and surrounding the nucleus there is a cytoplasm. Did you understand, children? Okay, my dear students, you should take your text and draw the pictures given in the text, page number 2 and 3 in your notebook, and read the topic very well, and I will be uploading the notes through the WhatsApp later. Thank you.